That MPG number on your heavy-duty diesel's window sticker was never tested by the EPA. Not once. Not in a lab. Not on a dynamometer. Nobody checked it. Here's why. Federal fuel economy labeling law only applies to trucks at or under 8,500 pounds gross vehicle weight rating. Every heavy-duty diesel on the market, every Cummins, every Powerstroke, every Duramax in the 2,500 and 3,500 class sits above that weight line, which means the law that forces a certified number onto a window sticker simply doesn't apply to your truck. The number you're looking at came from the same company that sold you the truck, not an independent test, not a government check. An estimate. And owners logging their own real-world mileage over thousands of miles are landing well under it, some by 15, 20, even 30% before you ever hook up a trailer. The half-ton diesel one aisle over at the same dealership actually has an EPA-certified sticker. Most buyers never notice their heavy-duty truck doesn't. This is the diesel MPG trap. Here's the rule almost nobody outside the auto industry knows exists. The EPA fuel economy testing and labeling requirement, the thing that puts a certified number on a window sticker, the same way it does on every sedan and every half-ton truck you've ever bought, only applies to vehicles at or under 8,500 pounds gross vehicle weight rating. GVWR, for short. That's the maximum loaded weight the truck is built to carry, not the towing number, a separate spec entirely. Go 1 pound over that 8,500 line, and the vehicle drops into a different regulatory category. Fuel economy testing and labeling requirements simply don't apply anymore. Now, look at what's actually built above that line. Every current heavy-duty diesel pickup Ram 2500 and 3500 with the Cummins, Ford F250 and F350 with the Powerstroke, Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD and 3500 HD, GMC Sierra 2500 HD and 3500 HD with the Duramax, every one of them has a GVWR north of 8,500 pounds. That's not an accident. That's the entire point of a heavy-duty truck. It's built to carry and pull more than a half-ton can, which means every single heavy-duty diesel on a dealer lot right now is exempt from the exact rule that would force an independently tested MPG number onto its sticker. Meanwhile, the half-ton diesel parked one row over the F-150 diesel. The Ram 1500 EcoDiesel, the Silverado 1500 diesel, comes in under 8,500 pounds. That truck gets the real EPA test. The 2026 Silverado 1500 diesel, for example, carries an EPA-certified 25 miles per gallon combined rating, 23 city, 28 highway, verified, certified on the sticker, by law. Same dealership. Same brand, in some cases. One truck's number is government checked. The other truck's number is whatever the manufacturer decided to print. So where does the MPG figure on your heavy-duty diesel's brochure actually come from, if not an EPA test? It comes from the manufacturer. Internal testing, internal estimation, run by the same company that benefits from a bigger number moving more trucks off the lot. There's no independent dynamometer test behind it. There's no government agency checking the math. There's no penalty structure if the real-world number comes in low. Because there was never a certified number to fall short of in the first place. To be clear, this isn't a claim that manufacturers are lying or fabricating numbers out of thin air. It's simpler, and honestly, worse than that, there is no independent number to check their estimate against at all. The figure on the brochure is unverified by design, not because anyone broke a rule, but because the rule that would require verification doesn't reach that far up the weight scale. Here's what that looks like once trucks are actually on the road. Owners logging their own fuel mileage, thousands of miles, tank after tank, tracked over time, are landing well under the brochure numbers. Ford F250 Powerstroke owners are logging an average around 16 miles per gallon. Ram 2500 Cummins owners are averaging around 15.9. Silverado 2500 HDD diesel owners are averaging around 14.3 against manufacturer and press figures that run in the 18 to 21 range for that same truck. That's not a rounding error. That's a real sustained gap between what gets printed and what a real driveway logs over real miles. Here's where the gap gets worse, and where almost nobody talks about it at all. Manufacturers generally don't publish a towing MPG figure. Not for half-tons, not for heavy-duty trucks. The number on the sticker, when there even is one, reflects unloaded or lightly loaded driving. The second you hook up a trailer anywhere near your truck's rated capacity, you're operating in a fuel economy zone with no published number attached to it at all. Owner-reported data fills that gap, and the pattern is consistent. Lighter loads, 15 to 18 miles per gallon. At or near the truck's gross combined weight rating, the real hauling weight, truck plus trailer plus cargo, 12 to 13 miles per gallon. One documented case, a Ford F-350 owner logged around 11 miles per gallon towing against around 19 unloaded on the highway. That's roughly a 40% drop on a truck whose brochure number was never certified to begin with. Stack those two gaps on top of each other. First, the brochure number was never independently tested. Second, that untested number assumed you weren't towing anyway. A truck owner budgeting fuel costs off the sticker figure for a truck they bought specifically to tow is budgeting against a number that was never accurate for that use case in the first place. Nobody explained that at the dealership. The salesperson quoted the brochure number. The brochure number was never meant to survive contact with a loaded trailer. So here's what you actually do with this information. 3 things. First, stop treating any heavy-duty diesel's advertised MPG figure as a budget number. Treat it as a marketing estimate, because that's precisely what it is. It was never run through an EPA test, so it carries no more weight than any other number in the brochure. Second, use real aggregated owner-logged data instead. Crowdsourced fuel tracking tools that pull thousands of owner-logged fill-ups give you a realistic unloaded average for your specific truck and engine. The 16, the 15.9, the 14.3 numbers cited earlier are exactly this kind of data, not a lab result, but a real average from real trucks on real roads. That number is worth more than the brochure page. Third, when you're budgeting for regular towing, subtract another 25 to 35% off whatever real-world unloaded average you land on. That range covers the owner-reported pattern from lighter loads down to towing at or near GVWR. If your truck's owner-logged unloaded average is 16 miles per gallon, budget towing fuel costs around 11 to 12, not the 18 or 21 printed in a brochure that was never tested for towing, or tested by anyone outside the company that built the truck. One more thing worth asking before you buy. What config was that advertised number even measured on? Cab style, axle ratio, tire size. 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive small spec changes swing heavy-duty diesel fuel economy meaningfully, and without a standardized EPA test forcing an apples-to-apples comparison, the number you're quoted might not even match the configuration you're about to drive off the lot. None of this requires a lawsuit or a recall. It requires knowing which number on the sticker is real and which one never went through anything at all. To be fair to the manufacturers here, nobody broke a law. The EPA fuel economy label requirement was written with a weight cutoff, and heavy-duty trucks sit above it. That's the regulation as written, not a loophole anyone snuck in. But the effect on you, the buyer, is the same either way. You've probably assumed every window sticker works like the sticker on a half-ton or a sedan independently tested, government verified, enforceable if it's wrong. For every heavy-duty diesel on the market, that assumption is false. The number is real in the sense that someone printed it. It's not real in the sense that anyone checked it. Now you know which number you're actually looking at. Sound off in the comments. What's your truck's owner-logged average compared to the brochure number, and how far off is it once you're towing? Real numbers from real trucks help every buyer reading this before they sign. Hit subscribe. This is Truck Truth HQ. Next video, we're going after the used HD diesel listings that quietly roll back the odometer reading buyers rely on most. The hour meter behind the dash, not the mileage on the title. That video is coming.